is the all-new 2023 Kia Sportage. Now, this is by far the most substantial overhaul of the Sportage since '09, when it went from looking like this to this. But it's not just about aesthetics this time around, although it does look pretty different, and frankly, I think it's a little ugly. But really, it's what's underneath that's the game changer. First, it's a lot bigger, most notably 7 inches longer than before, and in total it brings the Sportage from one of the smallest compact SUVs to one of the largest and more directly able to compete with a Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, you know, the really family-friendly options. It also clears it well beyond the Kia Seltos. Before, it was pretty much the same size. The cargo area, it is a lot bigger, the largest in the compact segment. Back seat space, 41.3 inches, ties it with its Tucson cousin for best in the segment. Now, besides being bigger and therefore more family-friendly because of it, there are a lot more options under the hood and under the floor and at the electrical plug. Base engine, nothing really to write home about. It's new, but it's a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, good for 187 horsepower. Has an 8-speed automatic available in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. But there's this, the new Sportage Hybrid, combo of a small turbo engine, electric motor, and a 6-speed auto. The available all-wheel drive system is a mechanical system as well, not just a second motor at the back. Total output, 227 horsepower. So the great thing about the hybrid, besides this snazzy blue interior, is that because of that 6-speed automatic transmission, it just drives like normal. It doesn't have a CVT that's moving along like the Toyota system, or an engine that's coming on at random times like the Honda system. No, just feels normal. And because it's turbocharged, it's layering on low-end torque on top of low-end torque that's inherent from the electric motor. And when you lay into it, yeah, it really goes. This feels like a performance upgrade. So when you add that, you know, improved drivability to it being a performance upgrade, and then you add on to that the 43 miles per gallon combined with front-wheel drive, or 38 miles per gallon with all-wheel drive, you're looking at a win, win, win. There's also going to be a new Sportage plug-in hybrid, good for an estimated 32 miles of electric range. Now, I didn't drive it here in Palm Springs, and there are more details to come, but given our experience with the Tucson plug-in hybrid, should be pretty good. So the hybrids, they're arguably the ones to get, but there's a wrinkle. You can't get either of the hybrids as this, the new XPro, and it's kind of the coolest one. BF Goodrich all-terrain tires, matte black 17-inch wheels, and recalibrated drive modes make it the quasi-forest or wilderness of the Sportage lineup. But those are the extent of the upgrades, hence quasi. There's nothing mechanically different. It even has the same 8.3 inches of ground clearance as every other all-wheel drive Sportage, including the also new X-Line, which is sort of a quasi-quasi. It shares the X-Pro's more rugged design cues, but doesn't have the tires and wheels. But that will be available on the plug-in hybrid. All right, so this is the XPro. Now, that thing that does make it cooler, that does make it nominally better off-road, the all-terrain tires, also makes it worse on-road, because those tires, they're harder, they're knobbier, and that means that the ride's rougher, it's louder in here, and the handling, it's worse. Now, I will say that the steering is still pretty precise, still nicely weighted, unlike a lot of vehicles that do have off-road tires, but still, you are signing up for quite the trade-off for this versus one of the other trim levels. And when it just doesn't come with, you know, extra off-roading equipment, say like a Forester Wilderness, I just don't think it makes sense. Now, that ground clearance is still pretty good for a compact SUV, and when off-road, the XPro can almost certainly do a better job of getting you past an obstacle or two on the way to a campsite than one of the other Sportage trim levels.
The interior is, well, exactly what you'd expect from a Kia. A unique design, nice enough materials, and really great technology that doesn't get in the way of you actually using things. Now, the wraparound pairing of 12.3-inch touchscreens, they're the real showstopper in here, and it's found on all the trims but the base LX.
So this new Sportage, undeniably far better than it was before, but more importantly, it's a lot more competitive than it was before. It's no longer this weirdly sized alternative to vehicles that were smaller and bigger than it. No, it's fully aimed right dead at the center of those best sellers. And in many ways, it is better than those, specifically the hybrid. So if you're in the market for one of these compact SUVs, well, the Sportage, just like its Telluride and Sorento siblings, definitely is one to look at.